was born in Canada.
I was born in Korea.
Korea.
Oh, I was born in Korea.
Teresa, ethnicity. I identify mostly Korean. If we're talking specifically with regards to nationality, however, I would say that I am Canadian.
Yes, full Canadian.
Just Korean, yeah.
So I would consider myself Korean Canadian, half and half. And my mom.
They moved to Canada probably around, I was born in 87, so they moved to Canada around 1981. I think it was primarily to find employment opportunities. But my dad also had family that lived in Canada at the time, so he was sort of like, well, I'd rather go to the US or Canada. So he opted to go for Canada instead.
As you know, in Korea, there's a very difficult to educate my children. I have to spend lots of money. That's why I want to stay here. I can spend a lot of money for the education.
Seaweed. Well, like usually there's rice and there's side dishes. I have kimchi. I have dakji. Bulgogi. Pan. Kimchi.
There are a lot of traditional Korean dishes that my parents make. We call it miyeok, something like that. Usually served on like your birthday.
Rice, yeah, rice. Every day, every meal, rice.
So the beauty of Korean, traditional Korean cuisine, it changes every day. Like you won't usually have the same foods except for kimchi and rice. So we'll have kimchi regardless with whatever meal we have. So every day is different. One day we could have a stew like kamjatang, which is pork bone soup. The next day it would be kimchi stew. The day after that we could eat some meat like bulgogi, which is sirloin beef. So yeah, it ranges every day.
For birthdays, we'd have something called myeokguk, and I think that's the case with every Korean. You'd have to eat tofu every New Year, which is a rice cake soup. And the Korean saying is that you have to eat that with egg.
Most of them are, I find that a lot of them are actually meat-based.
What you'll find with a lot of first generation parents, especially the immigrants, they're set in their ways. A lot of them are very hardworking, very entrepreneurial. So they're not receptive to new ideas, new changes. Whereas myself, I've grown up and seen technology rapidly transform our lives. There's a lot of differences and differences in thoughts, differences in the way we perceive things, the differences in the way we conduct and run our businesses.
Well, I think my parents try to understand that I live, half my life here, and that they don't want to put the same kind of expectation that they have in Korea on me. But at the same time, it must be difficult for them to kind of, try to understand me because obviously they haven't had the experience of growing up here. So from time to time, there are struggles.
So in language, you have to add the yo, the letter yo, to everything that you say at the end. It's a sign of formality and respect. So if I'm among friends, I could just say 안녕, but then when I meet someone for the first time, you say 안녕하세요, right? Or
when we live here, the Canadian communicate each other very, how can I say, like a friendly, and then like a the same level. I think it is a difference.
And when you meet someone for the first time, you use that formal language. When you're with people, your elders, anyone older than you must use the formal language. It's not until you're very close with that individual or persons that you can start using informal language.
A lot of East Asian culture, especially, is geared towards respecting their elders. So one thing that we've always done is making sure that the parents are met first, making sure that the adults are making their food first. So if we're doing something almost like a buffet style, I would pretty much get last dibs, just because I'm the lowest on the totem pole, whereas everyone else is a little bit higher up.
For my family, we always wait for our elders to eat first. You're not allowed to refuse food that's given by, especially like if you're with your friends. So moms will give you something to eat. You eat it. You do not say no thank you.
Whenever I go to the public area or the government office, they couldn't understand. They look very angry. Yeah. So I don't know why, but I want to that they understand my situation, and it's my second language, right?
When I first came, like I didn't really have this conception of like race or whatever, so I just like hung out with everyone. And I didn't speak perfect English then, but I think they understood that I'm not from Canada.
So since day one, they've dealt with issues regarding English language. That's been the toughest hurdle.
And then I went to my high school, which was largely Asian based, so I didn't really have trouble there. Just found friends and hung out. And going to the university, is being reintroduced to this like a different culture, I guess, and I'm learning. It's a bit different.
I found our friend in church. I was here after childhood, but some my friend live here from the childhood. So we are very different culture. So whenever we talk about it, I feel very uncomfortable, and then feel very that I feel that any distance, long distance, yeah, between us. Yeah.
It's cool. I embrace it just because it's different. It makes me someone different. As proud as I am being Canadian, I'm proud of my parents and where they came from and how hard they worked and where they're from. In Toronto especially, yes. Just because you have so much diversity and because this is Koreatown, I'm always surrounded by Korean speaking people, Korean shops, Korean food. So I'm always immersed in Korean culture. But the beauty of Toronto is that you have so much diversity. You can embrace your own culture as well as embrace other cultures too.
From a personal perspective, though, I have found that the way that I identify myself is more again as a Canadian. So that's not that I'm saying that I'm turning my back on my heritage, but I found that you can almost amalgamate the two together. It doesn't. You don't have to be one or the other. Part of being a Canadian is being multicultural, so you can be both Korean and Canadian at the same time. I found that I guess I carved my own niche in terms of my cultural identity. And I feel that most Canadians have done the same thing as well. So, do I find it difficult? Probably not.
Diversity means living in this country, having a fair opportunity to not just survive, but to thrive and to enjoy life and enjoy what Canada has to offer. Diversity also means embracing everybody that's beside us or around us, or our neighbors, other communities. So to me, that's embracing diversity.